Master Grade Rezel Type C General Reveal Defensor A and B units. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs, Gundam.tk, and as the original pilot relay spins into view here, it's time to take a look at another UC kit, not from High Grade Universal Century, but instead Master Grade, the evolution of the transforming Federation Grunt here, in the form of the Rezel with a whole bunch of weapons and a cool new color scheme. Late March 2013 release, with a price point 6,500 yen, fitting for a box and an amount of plastic this large. And don't forget, you can get this Gunpla kit and so much more from HobbyLink Japan. There's complete links down below. We've seen the Rezel since things kicked off at the very beginning of the Gundam Unicorn OVA, colored up in blue before we got a Commander's version, and Ride cut his teeth on that before heading off into bigger and definitely badder ones here in terms of mobile suits. Interesting to note, of course, that where the blue ones may have been good, these ones are on the good/bad guys. It's a sad day when the Gunpla Bible is totally out of date here. This is 2010, the most recent one up to date, and it's going to go up here until September 2010 with the Death Scythe, which doesn't help us because in October, just a month later, the regular Rezel came out in its blue color scheme there. That was going to sell for 4,800 yen, and 3 months later, January 2011, 5,000 yen for the Commander's type. Both of those, the blue ones, have come out in HGUC shortly thereafter, and the same Type C and General Reveal colors that you just see here came out with only the Defensor B unit, also in HGUC last summer. Influenced by the Zeta Gundam amongst other things here, as they took a transformation for something that was very special in a lead, and then as they were able to apply it into grunts, it's the kind of thing we've seen across the Gundam metaverse. The big appeal for this guy, though, outside of the color scheme, and I really like this white and orange one here for the General Reveal, is just going to be the fact that it comes with both the Defensor A and the Defensor B units. We've got to see those in bande dessinée, some of the MSV designs, and actually animated here, but it's going to be very cool that you can swap either of them off just to add a whole bunch of armor and weapons onto an already pretty formidably armed transformable mobile suit. Box tour now, there's you get to see the name from the anime UC, and most importantly, they're going to be showing you the back of the mobile suit there. You'll notice that he's got a walking stick holding him up there to stop him from toppling over without an action-based one underneath. But what you can do is you can take these parts here and the weapons and swap them out for the Defensor A or the Defensor B types. With the left side of the box focusing on the A up there, you can see it talks about their appearances in episode 5 and 6 as Laplace's box is getting found more and more. And first of all, it's just a great look at the front of the mobile suit there. The white with just that little bit of orange, I think it looks fantastic. Yeah, some people may not be crazy about the colors of the backpack being pretty much identical. It's all going to blend in, but nonetheless, I'd say it looks very, very cool. And even more so if you're going to show it from the back, if you can get past that stilt. In terms of the weapons here, micro missiles there, and for fans of Double Zeta, how about this? The Hyper Beam Sabers there are going to be reproduced in their massive size, and you can have those shooting off, and you're still going to have the regular Rezel armaments like Beam Sabers and the Beam Rifle there. For the more familiar B unit over here, you can see again that they're still going to have the regular weapons like the grenade launchers that are going to be looking good in their Beam Sabers that you can pop in and out. It is still going to have that stand holding up there on the back, and you'll notice instead of just the old square effect that you're getting over there on the top, that this one's going to have a lot pointier kind of thing there, and it's also going to have fins on either one that are going to be bending out. And from the front, though, you're going to be noticing that this one has two massive mega particle cannons. They're either going to be strapped over the back and protruding quite high in terms of extra head height there, and you can just see it in hand. It's going to be looking very cool. It is going to come with a regular figure that you can seat in the cockpit, but the mega beam launchers are looking good, and if you swivel down the particle cannons, lots of firepower. And with all the hubbub of swappable defensive units, it's easy to forget that this is a transforming mobile suit here, as you can see him go from MS to something that I would say is going to look a little bit strange. Definitely not the cool kind of streamlined space jet that we were getting used to with things like Zeta Gundam here. But basically, the Rezel looked like a box when it transformed anyway. When you add on the Defensor A or B units, both of them are going to be okay in the transformation. I'd say that the B one here is going to look a little bit better, with this one keeping that same boxy look. It looks like it has lots of cool gimmicks, though, for the actual transformation, thanks to well-designed joints. And if you want to get them up here, you can swing out the binder units and pop them up on an action base. And you know that Gundam UC is getting all sorts of love from Gundam Ace and other magazines here. you get to see that they have a spin-off series of the MSVs, Kusabi. Basically, one chapter is going to be devoted to one spin-off MSV from this. And from there, you can go and check out the chapter where they're going to actually talk about the 3 arrows, and you're going to be getting some marking seals, so you can go and recreate that, which you can also go and pick up the tankobon. Great details here from the clear sensors, and a very nice inner frame there that you can totally take off. And here it is without any lining marking whatsoever outside of the seals that they're going to be including in the box there. You can see the beam sabers down there, huge size, all the A and B parts, and he's looking very cool with the big guns on his back. Inside the box we go, where you're going to be treated to all sorts of good stuff. It looks like this huge plate of clear parts up there to go along with some polycaps, some guns, and it looks like some color variations perhaps here, with the E-plate just being slightly detached. There is going to be a lot of white and gray, so it is going to have more tones than you'd expect to go along with those massive double Zeta sabers over there. Gray inner frames, lots of seals it looks like in decals down there, with mostly silver to go under the clear parts. Nice multicolored parts here, a little bit of yellow, very few orange there with the regular size beam sabers. Gray, a darker gray, more of the light gray for the actual body to go along with a lot of parts for the inner frame. Screws and bolts it looks like inside there to go along with some bright white, gray, and the manual. To the manual now, where I've got to say that I really am a fan of that cover art there, showing off the MS with all of its firepower. Look at that long name down there, and this is an absolute beast of a manual. 38 pages as you go inside. Story about UC, of course, and the actual mobile suit and where it came from. All of the fictional parts, which is always fun to go through, and a little bit of talk about the transformation. But on to the gunpla part, you'll notice that there are going to be some X'd out parts here. B and F, we've seen those X'd out on previous versions of the Rezel. Big one down there for the I, but if you go and take a look at the plates there, there's going to be a jump, J, K, O. And that's basically because if you go back to the commander type, there was L, M, and N. Those ones are just going to be completely omitted. This was all part of the plan, though, that we'd be getting a commander type with some extra weaponry and wings on its back, and then this one with the A and B units. The table of contents may come into use with this novel here. The Gundam decals, the way you put them on, tape, and then just use a surface to scratch them on. But take a look at that. The head unit there, very, very simple, but look at this nice touch. This is fantastic. They're going to be laying out the plates for the parts, so if you're building up the body now, well, you just pull out these 7 plates, and they're going to be actually telling you the color of the plate. So you've got your gray, you've got your white, you've got your dark yellow. It's your clear yellow. It's just a very nice touch here that they're going to be giving you so that when you're going for plate S in this massive box, you'll know exactly where it is. You'll see that you're going to have lots of parts in there that are going to be needed for the transformation, and after you put together the arms and the legs, you're already going to have the whole MS completed before we're anywhere near halfway. Before it's on to the backpack units, look how many plates are going to be laying out. You may as well be laying them all out there. You're going to be using lots of screws that it looks like there. Get all the side binders, etc. in before moving on to the color splash page. Laplace box over there. Some painting guide down there. You can see that there's going to be some pretty cool colors. I'm a big fan of that clear yellow, as I've mentioned. The pilot, if you want to go paint up this generic dude over here. 1 point step, yes, go and add some lining there. But the clear yellow, I think, is going to sell all the difference. And some more information about the A and B units there. The hyper beam sabers, the fact that he can reach back and grab them and then hold them there, it looks like in 2 hands. The mega beam launchers, the particle cannons, the binders, the micro missiles, tons of weapon options, which you'll be continuing to build as you move through all of this. It looks like moving on to the actual A part there. This is going to be the regular Rezel weapons here. I'm glad that they didn't forget that. And then it's going to be time to change him into his Wave Rider mode over there. You're going to be popping everything off, and once you do that, you can start moving everything around. This is going to be fun for me. I've never done this transformation before. Looking forward to seeing exactly how parts formery or not it is. And even with the 38 pages, it's going to need even more with a pull-out page over there to finish it all off there. Here's where you order your missing parts down there. It looks like there's not too much focus. Couple 01, 11, 12 are going to cost you $200 if you want to go and replace those. But in terms, I like a lot of things about this manual, but on the back, lots of seals, lots of decals, and a black and white page, which is not going to make it very clear here as they're just being pretty generic and cheap. You'd think with this of over 40 pages, they could have given you a few more over there. But then on the back, yes, all is forgiven with some very nice painted up versions that out of the box, hopefully it's going to look somewhat near that good. To the regular seals now, which scream master grade quality all over the place. Yes, there's a lot, but they're all good ones here. Camera lenses, they're done up in orange, but getting that nice reflective silver underneath the clear yellow I think is going to look fantastic, and you'll see that all the colors in this kit are going to be coming from plastic instead of seals. With a nice bonus here, all of these are custom for the Type C general reveal here. You can get some big GRs on there if you want to put on these dry transfers. It's the kind of thing that's actually sort of tempting for me, the GR being a very nice touch. With the marking seals also being a nice touch here, as you can see that you're going to have the cool stuff from the manga down there if you want to go put those on. Lots of different colors and lots of numbers there if you want to go and customize for the one of your favorite character. It's a big box and lots of fun to open up there, as there's great selling points for around for the Defensor A and B units. I think Bandai laid it out very, very well. The manual is going to make things nice and easy to build, I'm hoping there. Some good pluses there outside of the lack of color for the seals. But it looks like there's going to be a fair amount of color there, and some variations, even though it is going to be a seemingly plain gray and orange. Stick around to see the plates, and for those of you that have already built the Rezel, I can't wait to hear your thoughts. And stick around for lots more news, reviews, and everything else you can use. See ya! And don't forget that in 10 years, they'll be selling a perfect Rezel A and B unit.